1899, the fastest cyclist on Earth was a 20-year-old black man from Indianapolis. His country spent the next century trying to forget him. Not a footnote, not a runner-up, a world champion who set records that stood for decades and then vanished from history almost completely. To understand why he was buried, first in glory, then in an unmarked grave, you have to go back to a bicycle shop in Indiana. File number 2. The fastest man on Earth. The world tried to erase. Marshall Taylor was born in 1878, the son of a Civil War veteran. As a boy, he swept floors and ran errands. At a bicycle shop, he could not have known that the machine he cleaned would carry him around the world. To draw customers, the shop dressed him in a soldier's uniform to perform tricks on a bicycle outside. The crowds gave him a name that would follow him forever: Major. A former racer named Birdie Munger saw something in the boy. He took him in, taught him how to train, how to eat, how to suffer on a bicycle. And he made a promise that this boy would become champion of the world. By 1898, Taylor was breaking world records at distances from 1/4 mile to 2 miles. The crowd came to see him fly. They called him the Worcester Whirlwind. Then came Montreal, 1899, the 1-mile world championship. When Taylor crossed the line first, he became the first black American world champion in cycling, and only the second black man to win a world title in any sport on Earth. He should have been celebrated everywhere. Instead, in his own country, the faster he went, the harder they tried to stop him. In the American South, promoters refused to let him race against white cyclists at all. Entire championships were closed to him for one reason only. Hotels turned him away. Restaurants refused to serve him. He often slept where he could, ate what he was allowed, and then went out and beat the men who would not share a table with him. On the track, rivals boxed him in, forced him into the rails, and tried to bring him down at full speed. After one race, a competitor choked him until he lost consciousness. And still, he won. Again and again, against everything stacked against him. He was simply faster. In Europe and Australia, it was different. In France, crowds chanted his name. Newspapers called him a marvel. Abroad, he was a champion. At home, he was a problem. But the fight wore him down. The constant hostility, the travel, the pressure of carrying, more than just a race. Every time he rode. He retired in 1910, still young, but worn out. He invested his fortune in ventures. That failed. Bit by bit, the money disappeared. By the early 1930s, the man who had raced before kings was selling copies of his own memoir, door to door, just to survive. In 1932, a heart attack put him in the charity ward. of a Chicago hospital. On June 21st, Marshall Major Taylor died. He was 53. No one claimed his body. The fastest man the world had ever seen was buried in an unmarked, pauper's grave. And the world moved on. For 16 years, he lay forgotten, a world champion with no name on his grave. Then, in 1948, a group of former riders refused to let him stay forgotten. With money from the Schwinn bicycle family, they moved him to a place of honor and finally gave him a stone. Today, cycling clubs around the world carry his name. The boy who swept the bicycle shop floor became the fastest man on earth. And this time, we are not going to forget him. File closed. Next file. A chain, a paradox, and a machine that should not work at all. The Bike Files. Subscribe for the next case.